Buy a house, they said. It'll be cheaper than rent, they said.
Yeah, because the girls are not telling the truth. Especially for those of us who have inherited homes because of the circumstances. Like, I inherited my childhood home after my mother passed away. It is a lot more than you bargained for. Now, when you set out on the home ownership journey, I'm assuming your realtor or broker or whomever is talking to you about the costs associated with home ownership that are not just boiled down to the monthly mortgage that you pay. I assume education is happening there. I don't know. But when you inherit a house, and like, I'm grateful to have inherited a home that is mortgage free. And so I don't have to pay like the amount of rent that I was paying. And I have that money to myself. But also, it's really not, because I have to obligate that money to maintaining, updating, renovating the home that I inherited. And when I tell you this stuff is not cheap, like, I have a whole master's degree. Y'all, I want to go back and become like a plumber or do HVAC or be an electrician, because they are getting paid. Like, the HVAC man, he charges $100 just to come knock on the door. Before he even fixes anything, you are paying him just to drive 15 minutes from his house. I had to replace the roof. I didn't know, like, there's part of the roof that's flat. Those shingles or whatever they're called were so expensive because they have to be made of a different type of material, so the water doesn't just sit there and it rolls off. Like, what? Who would have known this? I had to update the electrical. Child, like, he had to go through and like get all in the attic and rewire this. Girl, that wasn't cheap. And so while I understand that rent is a big chunk of people's money and it's a big chunk at one time, home ownership is also a huge chunk of people's money, and it is also a big chunk at one time. Because unfortunately, when something tears up in there, when something goes, oops in the middle of the night, or creaks and cracks and breaks, you do not have an on-call maintenance to call and they fix it for free. Like, it's just kind of built into your monthly rent. That's not happening. You are having to use your financial and social resources to make sure that the things in your home are prepared, and you have to be financially prepared for that as well. And given the state of our economy, many people just don't have it like that. Luckily, or not even luckily, girl, blissfully, okay, I have been able to handle the things that have come up, but many people don't. And then that is something that makes me very concerned as well, because how are people who are living paycheck to paycheck, or who don't have a substantial savings or money dedicated to repairs and maintenance in their home, how are these people surviving? Because even in my childhood home, my mother could afford to pay the mortgage, right? And maybe she could afford to pay for things as they happen. But as far as completely renovating or updating the home in the way that she would like, my mama didn't have the money for that. My mama was disabled. And so it just makes you wonder, like, everyone loves taking that picture with the key, like with their realtor, like, oh, just bought a house. But people need to also tell the full story and be very authentic about what that process is like. Not just the process of home buying, but the process of home maintaining. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like there's a right answer. I feel like capitalism has its foot on all of our necks, and this is all just a game. Because even though you own the home, you still got to pay property taxes, child. And that's a whole different conversation. But I do think that you need to make the best decision for your finances, and not the best decision based off like what you perceive your American dream to be. Because baby, it could leave you broke, busted, and disgusted.